Hey there, it's Diane Forster, and welcome to I Have Today, where we talk about the art of intentional living. And this show is all about inspiring, empowering, and educating you through life's transitions. And today I have a very special guest in the studio. Her name is Lisa Jones, and she's the host of a brand new show on the I Have Today TV network called Women Winning the Game of Life. That's a tongue twister. Women Winning the Game of Life. So that is the name of our episode today. And I'm going to share details about Lisa when she's in the studio with us, but she is a remarkable woman with a remarkable story and how she is helping women gamify and play in life, even through obstacles and difficult situations and positions, is extraordinary. And you're going to love her as much as I do. So she's going to be joining us in the studio in just a few minutes. So what we're going to do on the show today is we're going to start off with our intention statement, because we start every episode out with an intention statement, and then we'll get into our interview. We've got an amazing opportunity for you. And then we always end every episode with a powerful mantra meditation where we tie in everything that we talk about on the show in all in the end in this powerful mantra meditation. So you can leave this episode feeling better at the end than you did at the beginning. So, all right. So we are so excited here at I Have Today. We have big things going on. We have a big media day coming up with all of our hosts. We're doing photo shoots and video shoots in very Hollywood style as we're getting ready to do the big announcement of the launch of the network. And the network is live right now, and we are on I Have Today TV network. The home is on E360 TV, and we'll be expanding it and distributing it in other places, but we'll have more information on where you can find it, including Lisa's show, at the end of this show. And so it's been an extraordinary experience doing this. And I started a few months ago, I started a podcast about TV hosting, and yes, I get the irony. But my podcast is called Be a TV Star Host, and it is ranked top 5 globally. It hit new and noteworthy. We are so proud of it. And what it's just proving to me is that this information about you taking your brilliance, your brand, your star power, and turning it into a TV show is something that people are very, very interested in, especially women. And so we'll have some more information about that at the end too. But I just wanted to share how excited we are about that it's going so well. And then I'm going to New York in a couple of weeks. I'm speaking at the She Leads conference. So if anyone is here from New York and you want to attend it, it is an amazing, amazing experience. It's their 10-year anniversary. I am the keynote speaker, so I am opening up the event on Friday, October 18th at 9 a.m. at the Civic Center in New York City. So if you want to find out about getting tickets there, just Google it, find out about it, and grab your seat while there's still some seats there. So that's what's been going on here. And so now let's start with our intention statement. Our intention statement today is, I have today to play and win the game of life. I have today to play and win the game of life. You know, we tend to make things so much harder than they really need to be sometimes. And that's what I love about having Lisa on the show today, because she is going to help you navigate some of those things that you probably are stressing out about or worried about, or they're more challenging than they probably need to be. And if you stepped back from it a little bit and you gamified it more and you were more playful and fun with it, how much more of a rewarding and enjoyable experience would that be? So she's going to definitely be sharing some stories and some strategies with us today. So we always do an intention statement, and the intention statement for each episode is so that you get the chance to take that intention statement and use it for the entire week. And so what the team does is they make a beautiful graphic. There it is on the screen right now. I have today to play and win the game of life. That you can find on my Instagram page, Diane Forster Official. And when you go over to my profile, you'll see a little button that says intention statements. This is already there. So what I want you to do is go there, take a screenshot of it, and use it as your screensaver for the entire week, so that every time you look at your phone, you're reminded of it. And so, how do we make true, real change in our lives? Through repetition. And so, even if it's not consciously going in, subconsciously it is. So, make sure that you do that. And that is your screensaver for the week. All right. And while you're there, if you're not following me, check out my profile. And if you like what you see, give me a follow. I'd love to follow you back and learn more about you. All right. So we're getting ready to bring Lisa in. We're going to have an amazing conversation. So whatever you're doing, stop multitasking and really tune in and pay attention to what we're talking about today. And before we bring her in, let's hear a word from our sponsor, the Spifter. This week's episode of I Have Today is brought to you by the Spifter. The Spifter is a fun sifting spoon that makes cooking, baking, and decorating with sugars and spices so much fun. No more mess or wasting your spices. It's fast, clean, and easy. Everything looks and tastes delicious. It's also great for straining loose tea, getting pesky broken cork out of your wine glass, and draining liquid off food like olives and capers. Whether you're a novice cook or a gourmet chef, you'll love the results. The Spifter, the kitchen gadget that no kitchen should be without. Well, hey, Lisa Jones, how are you today?
I'm good. How about you?
I am doing great. I'm so excited to have you here on the show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited to be here. Thank
All
you.
right. Before we get into the conversation, let's tell the audience a little bit about you. Lisa Jones is the ultimate game changer for women, a dynamic speaker, consultant, and viral TEDx sensation who uses humor and gamification to fuel personal and professional breakthroughs. With over a decade of stand up, sketch, and improv comedy experience, Lisa brings laughter and creativity into the boardroom and beyond. She's also an author and team building expert who helps women tackle everyday challenges with innovative, playful strategies. On her show, Women Winning the Game of Life, Lisa empowers viewers to have more fun while solving problems, proving that women make the rules and everybody wins. Hey, Lisa. All right. So tell us a little bit about your story. Give us a little background information, about how did you get into this? Tell us your story.
Yeah, sure. So it started, I guess, when I was a kid, right? So I was sitting around my parents' kitchen table and I would always be telling jokes, and they were knock knock jokes. They weren't good jokes. So they would be like, stop with the jokes. It would be the same jokes. I didn't have a variety of jokes when I was a kid, but I started watching SNL, and that's when my love for comedy really started. And then after that, I took some acting classes and I went to college. And they were like, yeah, you can't go to New York to be an actor. You have to go do like a real college type of job.
Mm.
So I studied to be a dietitian. That's how I got into it. But fast forward later, I'll give you the Reader's Digest version. I was teaching at LaSalle University, and my students would just write on my evaluation form, "Oh, funny, you should be a stand-up comedian." I'm like, "Well, why don't I? Challenge accepted." So then I went and took a stand-up class, and I got picked up by an agent, and that's where I started doing performing. And I took sketch and all kinds of improv, so a lot of training there. And then I just tried to combine everything together. So speaking and consulting and then the stand up. So, and also along the way, I worked in learning development, and a lot of things that we had to do were make things entertaining. So that's where the gamification aspect comes in. So
Oh,
today I combine all three.
amazing. Amazing. That's why I love the concept for your show, and why it's so special and unique is because you do combine all of those things together. And so you're helping and supporting women, and you're doing it in a very fun way with comedy and humor and gaming, and it's super fun. So, but there was something that happened to you that I love the background. I love that your students then basically said what you should be doing. They got your humor, right? And they knew that you should be going in that direction. But what happened to you because you had a health scare happen to you? What was that all about?
Yes. Yeah. So really, I had back in 2014, I had a brain tumor, and the doctors were like, it happened to be I laugh about it now, but it really wasn't funny back then. But 3 months before my wedding, they found out about it and they're like, listen, we need to remove this. And I tried to wait until after my wedding to have it removed. And they were like, no, we can't wait. It was wrapping around my sinus vein. And they're like, we need to have this removed. And I said, well, I want to have some hair for my wedding. And they're like, well, you know, we'll try to just shave the area around where the tumor was. So anyway, that happened. And it was, like I said, 3 months before my wedding. So my whole thing was I just wanted to have some hair. So ended up working out where they used part of my other hair and it wasn't the way I wanted, but the good news was I made it to my wedding, right? But
Yes.
I also used gamification and play to heal faster. So pretty much as soon as I got done out of surgery, that was what I did. As soon as I woke up, I was like, okay, how can I gamify my healing and my recovery period? So each day was, if I had to take a certain amount of pills, I counted, I made a game out of it. I did activities that were game like. Planning my wedding became a game. So that helped me heal faster. I also played crossword puzzles. So any type of game I can get my hands on, that's what I did. And that's really, I was applying that gamification, that humor, and that creativity. And that's really what was solving my problem at the current time. And that's what I do today. That's why I'm so passionate about solving problems creatively. Yeah.
Yes. So let's talk about that with how you do this with women. So, I'm reading here. Well, first of all, congratulations on your TEDx talk. I've seen it. It's brilliant. It's viral. Everybody, you got to check it out. It's so packed with amazing information. But when you're helping women, give us an idea of some examples of ways that you're helping and supporting them. Either professionally or personally. What are some of the things that have happened?
So it's kind of like in my situation where I was overcoming, I was shifting that mindset from fear to fun. That's what I'm doing in any type of problem I'm solving, because a lot of problems that we have, they stem from fear. So if we can kind
Yes.
of shift that to a fun mentality, that kind of helps to overcome it. And that's really the approach that I use, but it's in everyday challenges that people experience. So whether it be somebody saying, oh, I feel like I'm stuck, how can I overcome that? That's a fear-based thing. So it's going back
Yes.
to finding out what they're passionate about. And everybody has a game that they like to play as a child. So I try to take them back to when they were 5 or 6 years old. Like, what was the favorite thing you remember doing? And I use
Mm,
myself as an example. Like, I played Pac-Man when I was little. That Mrs. Pac-Man was one of my favorite games. So everyone can kind of think of, oh, I played this game or I did this and I was in love with doing this. And we'll start playing again. And then they kind of notice how these obstacles fade away. And
yes.
really, it's enjoying the game that they're playing, but it's
Yes.
helping solve problems at the same time. So,
I love that. Going back to your 5-year-old self, which we do not do enough. And I know as someone who's, I'm really into the quantum and all of that, that we're simultaneously all ages at all times, right? And so if we could remember that more and go back and connect to her or him if men are watching the show too, and remember that feeling, and you will go instantly back to that moment and remember how fun that was, right? Easier times. That is a great strategy. So yeah, so you could create triggers for women to you do create triggers for women to go from that fear into the fun in any situation, which you utilize beautifully, even in the face of a brain tumor 3 months before your wedding. You were funifying it and gamifying it. Yeah. Yeah. So, so tell us, what are some of the, in your work, how did you really hone in these skills to become this expert? You really are an expert in this space. I don't know a lot of people who are experts in what you do. So it's because you're not just a stand-up comic or improv or any of that. You really are a leader in this space. Um, so how did this all happen in terms of you doing this?
yeah, it's really interesting to think about. If you kind of trace back, and that's the beauty, Diane, of going back to when you were younger. And if you think about, and I recently wrote a book with a couple of other authors, but I had to go back and think about like how I got to where I'm at today. And I
Yeah.
traced it back to when I was little and I was actually solving problems. Like this was back when we used to use Atari sticks. Like a lot of people are like, "What's that?" But we'd have the Atari stick and we'd play games. And I
Yeah.
played a lot of games using my Atari stick. One of them was Pitfall, another one was I mentioned already, Mrs. Pac-Man. But I remember like when I had challenges, whether it be at school, like kid challenges that you've had, or like making new friends, like issues that I had, I would solve them through some type of play. And
Yes.
even when I had problems in like, say it was like a math class or something, and my parents would say, "Oh, go look it up in an encyclopedia," because that's what we had it back then. We didn't have Google. You couldn't just Google anything. And I would
Right.
go and I would play a game. And then after playing a game, I would look at the problem I was trying to tackle in math differently. So it was like these games can really help you solve problems. So
Mm.
that's kind of where I put those two things together. And then it was interesting that later I ended up in training and learning and development roles where I was training people on how to do soft skills and things like that. And we used gamification to help them learn faster and better.
Yeah.
So it was interesting how like that played out and looking back through it, how I got to where I'm at today. And then the
Mm.
humor came because at the same time, that's when I was like, I was really into learning stand up and telling jokes and making things fun. But it all goes under play if we think about
Yes.
it at the end of the day. So
Mhm.
that's kind of how I got into everything. And then the gamification really came from when I was working in learning and development, because that's one of the things gamification wasn't as big as it is today. But
Right.
that's how we had to entertain people because every day couldn't be boring. We'd have to make things different, all the training different.
Yes. Okay. All right. Well, let's talk about your TV show.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. So, what made you decide to want to do a TV show?
Well, TV was something I've always been interested in, and I briefly had a TV show back, and it was like a local cable TV show. And then I
Okay.
remember I had a PR person come in and tell me, "No, you shouldn't be doing this." It was back then, like when Oprah was like the on TV at the time, and she was like the
Mhm.
heavier Oprah, not the thinner Oprah of today.
Right.
And the lady was like, "Well, you're not a size 6, so you really shouldn't be doing TV. Why don't you go and do like maybe radio?" So she wasn't into like, she
Mm.
was kind of like, stay in your lane, just do that. And it was something in the back of my mind. And I was like, okay, like maybe TV's not for me. But then years later, I saw you, Diane, and I was like, hey, there's an opportunity to do this. So I
Mm.
explored it and here we are today. So it was
Yes.
kind of like like unfinished business for me. And I'm so glad I did because I have a message to share with the world. And that's what I'm currently doing. So thank you.
Yes. And you do have a message. So, talk about your show. What can viewers expect when they come and watch your show?
Well, they can expect to have some fun. This is all about women winning the game of life. So each episode is unique. Each episode, we pick a different problem, and I have a different expert in that's an expert in that particular area. And then we talk about the problem, why it's a problem, and how it affects women. And we talk about solutions. And a lot of times we come up with creative solutions. And in each episode, I like to highlight the fun of the episode, like kind of make fun of it, if you will, make it funny. So we have a comedy sketch that I do about that particular issue, and we also play a game. I play a game with the guest. So each game is unique, made up for that specific guest. No one game is the same game. And that's pretty much the episode. And then I also like to include my daughter who is 6, and I have a Mira moment. So it's my daughter, her name is Mira, that is short for miracle. And she
Oh,
looks in a mirror and she gives us what we learned for that day. And then I also ask 3 takeaways from our guests at the end and we wrap up. But they're fun and you will learn a lot of information and it helps solve pretty much every problem.
now how old
There's
is Mira?
We're not
Mira?
going to run out of problems.
Yeah, right. How old is Mira again? Did you say
She's
6?
6.
Yeah. Oh
Yes.
my god, she's so adorable. Well,
Yeah.
first, thank you for having me on your show because I was just recently on
Yes.
your show and I loved the experience. And I loved what you shared with me about Mira doing it and what she's now doing because she's watching mommy do her TV show. So, talk about that because this is so empowering, everybody. So empowering. Yeah.
Yeah, since I forgot to mention this the other day to you, Diane, since she started reading, because I script the mirror moments out for her, and then she records them, like so she does like voiceovers, and she came home and she had like reading tests that she does, and she's like at the 97th percentile for her reading for her grade.
Gosh.
So it's fantastic and it's helping her. And now so it's funny because I catch her now making these videos. Like she's a future TV star. Like I'm inspiring her. She's making these videos when I'm not paying attention. She'll take my phone because she knows my passcode and she starts like recording herself. So she's really into it. She loves being part of it. She loves like she's like, I'm part of mommy's TV show. And then she goes and tells her friends and yeah, so it's like empowering to see. And she's also learning because each time we have a problem and we talk about the recap, and she's the one that says, like, in a voice of a 6 year old, what we learned today, she's learning. So it's
Yeah.
empowering her and just to see her growth. And she's like, oh, that's interesting that you had this problem. And I learned. And then she'll go to school and she brings back like information from other kids. And she's like, oh, you were just talking about this problem. And I noticed this kid. So I think it's really helping with her learning.
It is
Yeah.
so helping with her learning, and look at all the impact she's having on other kids. This is so powerful that you did this, Lisa, that you've created this platform, and I'm humbled and honored to be on this journey with you, and I'm so grateful to have you on our TV network and that you're making the impact that you're making for women, but look what you're doing for your daughter, because it really does start in the household, everybody. It does. And our children are watching us and watching what we're doing, the way we're doing it, how we're responding to life, right?
Yes.
And you are the epitome of taking any situation and not taking it so seriously and making it fun or making the best of any situation. And life can be really hard if life does have challenges and obstacles. It's always going to, right? But if we can lighten it up a little bit and make it more fun and go through those times with a little more humor and lightness, the world is just going to end up being a better place, not just for us, but for everyone in it, and especially including our family and our children. So I love that so much
Yeah.
that she is now so incredibly empowered and confident and comfortable using her voice and comfortable being on camera. I love it. I love it. Yeah.
Well, look out, Diane. Now that she knows how to get on my phone, make videos, she may sign up for your next event. You may have like the youngest person
The
signing
youngest
up.
host ever. You know what? That's not a bad idea. We could have the next channel, which will be so amazing, right? So fun. So fun. Yeah. What are you currently challenged with, if anything? Because I think we all need to talk about that too. The things that make us, growth opportunities for us. And maybe there's nothing right now, but what is that for you right now?
I think for me, I still have that little Lisa, the bad Lisa that
Yes.
kind of sits on my shoulder and says like, oh, you shouldn't be doing this, like the voice of that PR lady from the first time I tried to attempt to do a TV show that told me I couldn't do it because didn't fit into a size 6. So I'm never going to fit into a size 6, but it doesn't matter because I don't have to be a size 6 to share my message with the world. And that's what I love about this. Like it's accepting of anybody. You don't have to fit into a certain mold. So I think times have definitely changed,
Yes.
and it's people are way more accepting than they were 20 years ago when I tried the other show.
Yeah.
So I think to answer your question, dealing with the kind of that voice that says, no, you can't do it. And then I have to fight and say, yes, I can. And here's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to keep moving forward and just taking one step in front of the other. And it's one show after the next, pretty much.
What a beautiful way to live your life. And what a beautiful, beautiful example. That is what it is, right? And you're right. The world is way more accepting. There are, the unrealistic and unreasonable expectations. And especially this woman in PR. Did she ever do a show? Right? Does she know what it's like? She's in the industry, but not doing it. So I'm glad that dream didn't die for you and that you're making it happen. I'm really, really grateful. So, what is give us a sample? We could do it right here of in your show. You do a sketches like we did the other day. Talk about how do you come up with these? Because you're coming up with new ones every time, right? I mean, I do mantra meditations every time, and it's totally in the moment based on what we're doing. So I'm not rehearsing that ahead of time. I don't have to come up with that ahead of time. I do it, but you're coming up with it ahead of time. So how are you coming up with these? Let's talk about that.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's kind of like just, I make a point every day to write new comedy. I, it's going to sound weird, but I walk around with a voice recorder in the morning, and I do it actually twice a day. I do it in the morning and in the afternoon. And I record things that are going on in my life. And a lot of times that's what inspires me to come up with a list of ideas and to then write comedy on. But specifically to the show, as I'm starting to write my show flow out, or whatever guest I have, whatever problem it may be, I write a list of like 20 things. And then I kind of find like a weird setting that could be funny to put that person in to kind of act out that area, because that's what comedy comes from. It's basically from two things that aren't really, somebody's in the wrong place or something happens that's weird, and that's what makes people laugh. So I'll say,
Mm,
okay, what can go wrong with this having this problem? What is the thing that can go wrong here? Or what is, I can take it to the next level. Like your episode, Diane, we talked about visibility. So I'm like, okay, well, I can have this character, and there was the character that we had, but it was in four different settings. So I thought about, okay, it's somebody that, like, what can I have them do that could be over the top? So I exaggerated some things that normally
yes.
probably wouldn't happen, but there's always that one person. Like the example I used was the person that interrupts the meeting. There's always somebody going, me, pick me. And they keep talking. So that was one of the examples. And then there's somebody that feels invisible. So I had a picture of them hiding behind a curtain. And then I changed my voice to make it sound like it. So it just depends on what the episode is. But I get so many ideas from actually going through the problem in the episode and writing things from that.
That is such a discipline to do that. I mean, that is commitment, beautiful commitment that you do that every day. Wow. I love that. I love that. Okay. Let's talk about some examples of just give us a couple of strategies that if anybody's out there struggling, what could they do in their own life? Obviously, we want to drive them to your show, which we're going to talk about at the end, but what could people do, women do right now in their life every day to start bringing in more comedy and more humor and more games and fun in their life right now? Um,
Uh,
yes. Hmm.
yeah, that's a great question. The first thing I would say was just to become more aware. And I think a lot of times what happens is as a kid, we have that awareness. So if you think about a kid, you go and you see things, their eyes light up. Whereas adults, we've kind of learned to, I don't know if I want to use the word turn it off, but we're not aware of things. So I think creating that awareness. So every day, if you write down, they say like write down three things you're grateful for every day. I would say write down three things that you found funny that day, because
Mm,
that, as you start writing those things down, you become more aware of it. Or if you just go sit at a park bench and you look around and you watch people, like you see things that could be considered humorous, or like just creating that awareness of it is the first thing. And then the other thing, of course, is write it down, just like you were, like I mentioned, gratitude. It's kind of the same thing. But as you're becoming more and more aware of it, more and more, you start noticing it more and more. So then maybe you can't think of more than one thing, But if you do it past a week, you'll start seeing more things. And then before you know it, you'll have like 10 things on a daily basis.
Yes.
So it
Oh,
becomes easier over time.
that is so infectious. I love that. That is a great strategy. I'm going to start doing that. I started
Yeah,
doing
it's
this.
a,
Yeah. I started doing this thing on TikTok. There's this couple, and she tells a joke, and she's always hysterically laughing. He's always hysterically laughing. They're all clean jokes, but they're so funny, their delivery. And I just find them because it's daily. They're doing this daily.
yeah,
I find them so that I can laugh, because I will just watching them laugh will make me laugh. And the joke is always funny. And it's always, cheeky and fun, but that's like a way for me to get laughter in every day. And I love the stupid pet tricks and the different things, but I will literally intentionally make time to laugh every day. It's something that
yes.
just makes my eyes water, and it just feeds my soul, and it feels so good. So I think we all need to do that too. And that's a
I
great
agree.
tip. I'm going to start doing that and really become
Yeah.
aware of the things that are funny. So
And
good.
then play. Yeah, like find
Yeah.
something that you enjoy playing. So whether it's a new game, like there's so many options now to play games. Like you can download an app and play a different game each day, or you can play if your favorite game is playing Monopoly. Like you set aside a date night and play Monopoly, like whatever that game may be for you. But each day, try to. I have a what I call a play jar that's sitting behind my computer, and each day I pull something out and I read it, and then I'll play with it. It
Ooh,
tells me to
that's
do
good.
something. But it has like a
Oh, yeah.
hundred, like I'll have to write new ones soon because I'm almost out of them. But it gives you a different idea of something you can do each day. But it's always a surprise to me. I don't know what it's going to be until I pull it out.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. Yeah, I play Wordle, and then Quordle, and then Octordle. So I like the
Oh,
word games. I play them every day. Every day. Yeah, it gets my brain going, and yeah.
yes.
Yeah, and I gamify it with myself, like how much faster can I do this than I did at the time before? I love that. That's great. Okay. Well, all right.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you two more questions, and then we'll talk about more about your show and ways for people to find out more information about you and anything and everything you have coming up. So, what will you please share with the audience how you live the I Have Today way, which is intentionally in the present moment? And will you start it off with I have today too, like we do with our intention statements?
Yes. I have today to embrace every moment with intention, passion, and a playful heart. So every day I wake up ready to tackle challenges by making life a little bit more fun and meaningful. And I approach everything I do, whether it's speaking, consulting, or just spending time with loved ones, with a deep sense of purpose. And for me, that purpose is helping others see that they can rewrite the rules of their own lives. So I live with intention by choosing joy, laughter, which is very important, and creativity in everything that I do, whether I'm on stage or a simple I having a conversation with someone like I am right now with Diane. I remind myself and others that today is all we have. So why not make it as fun, impactful, and purposeful as possible? Because living this way, it does keep me excited, driven, and connected to what really matters.
That's so beautiful. You really have opened me up, and I hope the audience too, about how to really bring in the play back in life, because we're all just not having enough fun. We're not having enough
Wow.
fun. Mm-mm. Yeah, it's really, you're a light in this world, and the work that you're doing in this world is so needed. So I'm so grateful that you're now putting it out in the world in a much, much bigger way. That's beautiful, beautiful. And so, and what do you wish more people knew? I mean, you kind of sort of said it, but what do you wish more people knew?
I wish more people knew that they don't have to wait. Like a lot of times, they don't have to wait to play. They don't have to wait for permission to play. I think that's another thing. People think, oh, I'm an adult. I shouldn't be playing. It's kind of like if you had a cat or an adult dog and they stop playing. No, they're always playing. Just because they're adult doesn't mean they want to stop playing. So we should still be playing even though we're adults, right? Because life is full of challenges. But when you approach them with a sense of fun, creativity, and curiosity, we all find better solutions and enjoy the process so much more. Because when we can make our own rules in our own game of life, we can choose to play, laugh, and live fully. And I believe that the more fun you have, the more you'll win, both in your professional and personal lives.
Mm, that is so true. The more fun you have, the more you'll win. I'm writing it down. Yeah, that is so true. And it's so interesting that, and I'm so glad that your focus and attention is on women because men seem to have figured this out. You know, they play golf, they play softball, they they gamble, they play all types of sports. They play. They do
They
play.
play.
They do. They do. And we women tend to be more serious than that. So I know I love it. I love it so much. All right, Lisa. So why don't you tell everyone about your show, Women Winning the Game of Life? It's on I Have Today TV network, which is on the E360 TV app and channel. And
Yes.
what day and time does your show air?
Yeah, so it's Friday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And also on Sundays, you can catch the replay, and that
7.
is at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Amazing. Yes. So,
Yes.
all right, everybody. So, catch our show Fridays, 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, and then the replay at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern time. Women winning the game of life, and you got to check it out. It's a great show, and you get to see her daughter Mira and all the wonderful things. You'll walk away feeling really, really good. So, we're so excited about it. All right. Well, is there anything that you'd like to say? Any last, points or a piece of advice before we wrap up?
No, I just want to say thank you. Maybe after this, we can do a comedy sketch on time zones because that's that's come up a little bit. That would be fun. But I would just say keep playing, keep laughing, keep having fun. Yeah.
So
Thank you
beautiful.
for having me on your show, Diane.
Well, it's my pleasure. Thank you for coming here and thank you for your show and your work and your contributions. You are changing the world more than you realize. So I hope everybody who's watched today or listened to this has gotten a lot of value out of it, and make sure that you follow Lisa Jones. And oh wait, yeah, we need your website too. It's lisajoneslive.com. You can find her at lisajoneslive.com. So we'll have that in the show notes as well. And there it is. It's on the screen right now. So, all right, Lisa. Well, you have a beautiful
Yay.
today. And I know that I'll be talking to you soon. Thanks so much for coming by. All
Thank
right.
you. Thank you,
You're,
Diane.
you're welcome. Okay. Oh, she's so amazing. Just love her so much. Gosh, I learned so much today. I hope you learned a lot today. Okay, well, before we get into our mantra meditation, I wanted to share an opportunity with you that I shared at the beginning of the show, that we've launched this podcast now called Be a TV Star Host. And we are always looking to help women launch their TV shows, and a few men too, but our market is mostly women. And we're always looking for incredible women like Lisa Jones to join us on our television network, because I Have Today TV is the first and only women's personal development and transformation TV network for women over 40. And the reason why we are offering this network out into the world is because so many women out there are struggling in their lives when they go through transitions later in life like this. And so we are the go-to resource for you all. And so if you liked what you heard today from Lisa, you're going to love the other hosts that we have on the network. And maybe you are a good expert in your story, your expertise, your talent, your skills, and experience will help other women all over the world as well. And so, what we have for you is the opportunity to take a free assessment, which is it's free and easy, very simple, 14 questions to see, are you TV ready? That's it. And you don't need anything. You don't need to go to school. You don't need to study more. You don't need to do any of that stuff. Lisa didn't do any of that. She came and she learned through us. Okay. All you need is the right strategy and structure to do that. So let's find out if hosting a TV show on our television network is right for you. So team, will you show the graphic, please? So what we have for you is our casting call assessment. So there it is right there. It's tvstarhost.com/casting. tvstarhost.com/casting. Take the free assessment. It doesn't cost you anything to do, and then find out if you're ready. Now, once you fill out that assessment, you're going to be asked to send us a little video, and you don't need to do anything fancy with that. You can hold up your cell phone and we just want to see you on camera. So do that, and then the team and I will reach out to you to set up an appointment for your casting call. So we look forward to meeting you and finding out if you are going to be one of the new hosts on the I Have Today TV network. All right. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to do our mantra meditation, and this is going to tie in everything that we learned today with our topic of women winning the game of life and our intention statement that you really can be playing and winning more in your life through comedy, through improv, through fun, through laughter, through gamification, and making your life more fun and truly connecting with that inner child. And so what we're going to do is the mantra meditation right now. So if you are driving, obviously you can't do this. Make sure that you go back and watch this. You can listen, but you just can't participate in it because I want you to be safe on the road. For everybody else, stop what you're doing. Don't multitask. Don't do anything. Just be present with me for just a few minutes, about 3 minutes of our time together. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to start out with 2 breaths. We're going to do a series of breaths. I call these the rainbow breath meditation. And you're going to breathe in through your nose. And what I want you to visualize when you do that is it's as if you are breathing in the mist of a rainbow. You know how the rainbow is cloudy and misty and it's got all the colors? That's what I want you breathing in. I want you to pull it all the way down to your tailbone, which is your root chakra. And then do that for the count of 4. And as you're holding it, then I want you to count to 8. And as you're counting to 8, what we're going to be doing is sending energy and light to your 8 chakras, your root chakra, your sacral, your solar plexus, your heart, your throat, your third eye, your crown, and your soul star, which is about a foot above your head. Very important one that a lot of people don't consider. That is actually your channel to receive information. So when you're thinking, you're in the past, right? When you're imagining and being in playful, mindset, then you're in the creator space. But when you really want to tap into your intuition, you want to be receiving. That's how you do it. You clear away that residue there so that you can receive the ideas like Lisa does, 20 ideas a day. That is amazing what she does. Those kinds of things will start to happen to you. Okay. So you're going to count to 8 as you're sending energy and light to all 8 of those. Then you're going to breathe out for 8 seconds as if you're blowing out birthday candles. So that's going to be like, and what I want you to visualize is that you are taking any trapped trauma, toxic areas in your life, any pain, anything negative, and you're breathing it up and out. And I always visualize that's like sooty smoke, like from a chimney or a train. That's like I'm just getting it all out, right? And we're going to do that 2 times. Now, I know that was a lot of instruction for you. Don't worry, I'm going to walk you through it. So remember, we're going to breathe in the mist of a rainbow for 4 seconds, pull it down to our root chakra. Then we're going to send light and energy to our 8 chakras as we're counting to 8. And then we're going to breathe it out for 8 seconds like we're blowing out birthday candles and getting rid of all that toxicity 2 times. It's going to feel amazing. And then just listen to my words, okay? So put your feet flat on the floor, put your hands on your lap, face them down if you feel grounded, or you can flip them up if you want to receive more energy, and then close your eyes and just follow my instruction. Okay, here we go. So breathe in for the count of 4, mist of a rainbow. Hold it and send the energy on the count of 8. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathe it out for 8 seconds. Should feel like a deflated balloon, your abdomen. Let's do that one more time. Breathe in through your nose, that mist of a rainbow, and pull it down. And send that energy as we count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Blow it out. Just listen to the words. I have today to love my life. Something really good is going to happen to me today. I can feel it. Miracles big and small. I notice them all. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. I have today to play and win the game of life. I am going to shift all my fear to fun because now I have awareness that I can go back to my 5-year-old self at any time and remember how fun and playful I was. And that all of this is available to me at any time. I don't have to schedule my fun and my playfulness. It's available for me at all times in any situation. I'm going to learn how to play games every day. And just like I look for ways to list things that I'm grateful for, now I'm going to write down things that I find funny in the day. And I'm going to look for opportunities like that all the time. And I know that that will build on it and I will create momentum around having fun, being playful, enjoying life more, relaxing more, and not making a big, hairy deal out of it and taking things so seriously, even hard, difficult things. I don't need to do that anymore. I can be fun and playful and creative and curious because the more fun I have, the more I'm going to win in my life. I love this new realization. I love that I have today to live this way and that I get to play and win at the game of life. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to thank my amazing guest, TV host Lisa Jones, for being here. Make sure you tune into her show, Women Winning the Game of Life, on I Have Today TV. And I want to thank you for being here. Again, if you want to find out more information about me, this show is called I Have Today with Diane Forster. You can find us on E360 on the I Have Today TV channel and on all streaming platforms. We also distribute this TV show as a podcast, which is also available on all the podcast platforms. So make sure you give us a follow, a subscribe, a rate and review, and we will see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.